Hello everyone, I am Teacher Noel, your podcaster for today. Are you ready for the podcast-based lesson? Now, be ready to listen carefully and understand what I am reading. So, let's get started. The lesson I am about to discuss is all about how do plants reproduce. Are you familiar with this topic? If not, let me discuss to you to enlighten your understanding. You can see different types of plants everywhere. They differ in size, shape, color, smell, and even in their mode of reproduction. Like animals, plants need to continuously reproduce themselves. Some reproduce through their seeds while some utilize other means. Flowers are the attractive parts of the plant which are used for reproduction. Here are the two types of plant reproduction. They are sexual and asexual reproduction. First, sexual reproduction happens when pollen grains are transferred from the anthers, or male, into the stigma of female, where anthers are the parts of a stamen that contains the pollen while stigma, part of a pistil, that receive the pollen during the pollination. The transfer of the pollen grains from the anthers to the stigma is called pollination, where pollination is usually brought by wind, insects, or birds. There are two kinds of pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. Self-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anthers to the stigma of the same or different flower that belongs to the same plant. Cross-pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anthers of the stigma of another flower that belongs to another plant in the same kind. Here is the explanation on how sexual reproduction happened. Once a pollen grain enters the stigma, it swells and grows a long tube that travels through the style until it reaches the ovary. The tube releases the sperm into the ovule to fertilize the egg cells. The fertilized egg cells and the ovule itself develop into a seed. Then the ovary enlarge and thicken its walls to become fruit. This will be the receptacle for the seeds. These seeds can be eventually grow into a new plant. Second, asexual reproduction is the production of a new plant with only one parent involved. It can be done using the vegetative parts of the plants like roots and stems.
Vegetative propagation is a form of asexual reproduction where new plants are produced from one part of a parent plant. New plants can grow from roots, stems, and leaves of a parent plant. Some plants can produce asexually through their stem, in which most shrubs grow through stem cutting, where a stem from a parent plant is cut and then replanted to grow into a new plant. Here are examples of plants that grow from cutting: rose, bougainvillea, and sugarcane.
This is the end of our podcast-based lesson. I hope all of you gain a new ideas. Thank you.